好看咱们了，好看咱们了。
Anyways, it's nice to be here.
It's great to have you here. And we've got Elaine Frost joining us here. Elaine, great to have you on the show.
Great to be on the show. Thank you for having me, Hugh.
Now I forget, how did we connect?
We connected through someone else who had been on the show recently, but years ago I was here with Sister Ann from Furniture Bank.
Oh, that's right.
When you interviewed her.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. That's what you said in the email. You were here with her?
I was here with her because I was on the board of Furniture Bank. So,
oh, okay.
And she was the founder.
All right.
Wow.
Now you're doing something a little bit different, or maybe a little bit related.
It is related, but I've been doing this for 10 years. I have a business called Trusted Transitions. We help seniors and their families when they have to transition out of the family home, or we help executors of estates when they have to empty the contents of a house because a surviving adult has passed away. And years ago when I was doing that, I was trying to figure out, what do you do with all of this stuff? Some of it being in good condition but not good enough to sell. So I found Furniture Bank, and I got kind of involved with them as a volunteer, an extra volunteer activity.
So that kind of grew out of your working in this
field? It grew out
field.
of my business, yeah, my working with them. So.
Business must be booming with the Canadian aging population. Business must be booming.
Business is good. It's very good. You know, getting external help that you have to pay for isn't for everyone.
Right.
Some people have families that are very involved with them and have the time to help them through the process.
Okay.
But for lots of people where they either don't have families, there are more and more, I find, single older women around, or they have kids and the kids are scattered to the winds as they've developed their careers.
Yes, yes.
Or they just don't want to be dependent on their kids. They'd rather bring somebody else in to help them. So
well, you know, it's I think it's a growing phenomenon, and everybody, I don't know, you know, sometimes I think it's like we are the only generation and we are all going through new stuff all at once, and now we seem to all be going through this, dealing with our parents who are going through this transition.
Well, people are living longer, number one. Then you've got the baby boomer phenomena where, you know, there's just more and more people. So yeah, to a large extent, we are the first generation where there's really been a need for a service like this.
Well, there's actually a term for us now, and it's called the sandwich generation.
Because we like sandwiches.
Yeah.
No, because we're caught in the middle. Because especially for females, this applies because you're having to deal with the kids, taking the kid. Okay, don't be insulted. Okay, but you're having to take the kids to school, right, and deal with health issues and that kind of thing. And now you're having to take your parents to doctors. So there's more time that's needed for taking
family
sick leave
things
and that kind of thing. So now there's an actual term called the sandwich generation.
And sometimes that's all the time you have is to make sandwiches. So you have to eat sandwiches. So it's kind of works both ways.
But you can't even do peanut butter and jam anymore.
I can, but I don't like the jam part of it.
This is a very intelligent conversation.
Life can't be perfect.
No, exactly.
When is that going to change, Elaine?
Never, you.
Well, actually, in a way...
He burst his bubble.
In a way, though, running a business like this, where you come in and help families to deal with this, because I tell you, I just went through it with my dad, and it was a huge job. I mean, people are filling that house up with stuff for a lifetime.
Yeah, a lot of our clients have lived in one physical home for 30, 40, or 50 years, and we all have a tendency to fill whatever space is around us. So the cupboards, under the beds, under the couches, it's all jammed full of stuff. And it's a huge job, first of all, to figure out what to do with it, and then to actually go through the process of making it happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, once you get, I'll say, 60-ish plus, having the physical ability to do that is a challenge. But the other thing is it can be very emotionally and mentally challenging because a lot of things that you own for many people are sentimental. They have attachments to them. And while They know that it would be better for them to live in a smaller place, perhaps in a place that can provide them with some meals and support, some health support. It's hard to give up a lot of those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or move them to their son's basement.
Yes.
So they can visit them every once in a while.
And I was going to ask, you know, like, because, and I'm just imagining, because I know you get so attached to this stuff that even though it really should be thrown out, you still want to keep it in many cases.
In many cases. People are different. I have some clients who are, you know, can detach themselves from it. But for many people, yeah, it is a challenge.
So what's the real, like, what are some of the reasons why people would or should give you a call to help them with this issue versus just doing it themselves?
Well, if they don't have family who are around or who have the time because they're busy with those sandwich issues, then they should call us. They should call us because, you know, I can't, we've been in business 10 years, so we've done this, I've never added it up, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 times. So when it comes to divesting yourself of things, I can take a look around and know, oh, I know we can sell this and here's where I would take it, or no, this can just be donated and here's where I would take it, and so on.
Okay.
So we have an expertise with that.
Do you actually do the delivering of that stuff, or do you say, okay, you just give them, the family, the plan and they execute?
No, we execute for them.
Okay, okay.
When I first got in the business and people said, what do you do? I've never heard of this before. I said, we're like wedding planners for senior transitions.
Interesting.
Because we orchestrate everything, we bring in the right people to help, we manage it all so that you don't have to be there.
Wow.
You know, you can just imagine being 80 years old, maybe not in the best of health, trying to, first of all, pack your things that you are going to take when you move to a smaller place, direct the movers. It's just too much. So we do it all.
So do you do people who are moving from a house to like a bungalow, or to assisted living, or to long-term care, or all of the above?
All of the above.
Okay, okay.
Most of our clients are moving to a smaller place.
Okay.
The odd time people move to a larger place, but something that suits their lifestyle better.
Right. Well, that's rare. Well, you know, for the senior transitions.
It is rare. It is rare that it's to a larger place, but
yeah,
sometimes.
Do you do you actually see the place that they're moving to and also help with moving stuff in?
Oh yes, I usually see it ahead of time, and I do a floor plan.
Okay.
And then when they say, I want to bring this and this and this and this and this and this and this, I say, okay guys, here's how much will fit in, because we do a little floor plan. So we can only take 5 of those 7 items. So which ones are your 5 favorites? And let's see how we can make this work.
Wow, nice. And how long, Elaine, is it how long of a process is this? So if I were to call you up, and how much notice do you need for the move out date, and when is it all over? Is this a 2-month process, or what can people expect?
Sometimes it can take a couple months, but it can be done in 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I think it's really important to note that your expertise at doing this for so many years, and that you know where the stuff goes, because I know with, you know, when we were dealing with it, it was like, okay, so now what do we do with this? We don't know, because you don't know. A person just going through the process, they're not experts at doing this kind of stuff. So it's sometimes it just makes sense to bring in that kind of expertise.
It does. You know, for most of us, you'll only go through the process once or twice in your life, because you've got parents and maybe in-laws. So yeah, most people don't have the expertise of it. And one of the things that I have come to believe is really important over the years in this business is for people to start thinking about the fact that this may be a step they will go through later in their life, and start planning ahead for it. And I do a lot of speaking in the community, just trying to trigger people to think about those things and get their heads around them and learn a little bit about it. And to that end, I've recently published a book called What Next? Navigating Later Life Transitions.
Here it is. Here, let me hold it up. And
Let you hold it up? Okay.
Yeah, so,
and What Next is a collaboration. There are 6 of us who came together to write the book.
and it's see-through.
It's see-through?
You see?
Oh, it is.
So,
Oh, the
I mean,
green.
It's all about transparency.
It's a trick, right? Should have had a blue cover.
No,
Anyway,
I like to see
there
through.
are 6 authors, and all of us are coming from our base of expertise to give advice to the sandwich generation, people who might be working with their parents or with the older adults on subjects like what's home care all about? What are the kinds of home care you can get? What happens with your finances years after retirement when you might have some different expenses or move from a house to a rental property? What's downsizing all about? What do you need to know about that? And there's also a couple of excellent chapters written by some great lawyers on powers of attorney and wills, which are so important for all of us to have if we want the world to unfold as we wish, both in our later life and in our death.
Because if you don't do that, the government will seize your assets.
Well, not necessarily. The government won't seize them. The government will just decide who gets them, and it may go to somebody that isn't one of your favorite people.
Right. Okay. So
wow,
now,
this is packed full of information. It's very
so who should get this book?
useful.
I would say all sandwich generation people who have parents who they know are going to continue to age. And of course, lots of seniors should just read it themselves. We hope that somebody in the family will get it and they'll pass it around and it'll be a trigger to conversations. Because the issue is we don't want to think about it, we don't want to talk about it. So when a crisis happens, all of a sudden things have to move quickly and you don't have time to make good decisions.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is more proactive instead of reactive.
That's right. That's
so be
right.
proactive.
Yeah, yeah.
Be proactive.
You know it's coming.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be scary. It really doesn't have to be. It's only scary when you're in reactive mode, right?
Well, and it's scary when you don't know what's going on. And this
yeah.
is meant to be a bit educational, so take some of that fear out of it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Now, so Elaine,
good for you for finding this niche market. That's a very cool concept.
now where, who do you serve? I mean, what areas do you serve? If people want to work with you to help them get through the transition.
Far do you go?
Yeah.
Trusted Transitions operates in the GTA. We also have branches in Hamilton, Collingwood, Barrie, and Peterborough.
Wow. Wow. So you really go out there.
We do.
Now, is there like what's the first step if people want to get in touch?
Just
or
call.
Get the book?
Just call.
Okay.
They can call me or go to our website, which is www.trustedtransitions.com, and there they can link to the book if it's the book they'd like.
So they can actually buy the book there?
Yep.
Okay.
Or they can call me. We usually start the process with a no-charge consultation because every situation is so different. I can't give much relevant advice over the phone.
Okay, and do you want to give out the phone number?
416-503-0006.
Okay, so great. So people are going to be watching this not just today, but on YouTube and stuff afterwards. So, but people in those areas can just check out the website, I guess, and get anything else.
Perfect.
People
really
need to know.
relevant in today's world, boy. It's really.
Yeah. Is there anything else we should let people know about?
Oh, well, the only other thing I would say that we didn't talk too much about is we also work with executors of estates.
Okay.
So when someone passes away and it's, gee, there's a house full of mom and dad's stuff, I don't really want any of it. What do I do?
Yeah.
And they don't want to go through their parents' dresser drawers and so on. We'll go in and handle all that for them.
Okay. So those lawyers or those executors should get in touch with you.
Lawyers or executors can get in touch with us, and we help with that. And we also help people who aren't moving but simply have too much stuff, and it becomes a safety issue for them to stay in their existing home.
Do you mean hoarders?
Hoarders or collectors, exactly. There's a borderline. There's a fine
nicer
line
way of
between
saying
them.
that.
Yes, between those two categories.
Well, and also too, I mean, when you become older, and let's say you have to start using a walker, you have to start moving things out of the way so you can get that walker
That's right.
through. Right?
Yeah, it becomes, and when your balance isn't as great, yeah.
Okay. All right, Elaine, great. Thanks for coming in and telling us about this today.
Interesting.
Thank you for having me.
And again, there's the book, What Next? That's for everybody. So pick that up at the website. Tamara's already given it the thumbs up. TrustedTransitions.com. Thanks, Elaine, for doing this today.
Thank you.
So we're going to take another little break, and we're going to get the Iron Age Mystics on. Kevin and Clayton have been very patient. Do you guys want to watch the video first or after? Okay, let's watch it first.
Okay.
So this is Iron Age Mystics, and we're going to come back and chat with Kevin and Clayton right after this.
Oh.